You're listening to Caved In with Caecelia, a monster erotica short story by Katryna Lalock, narrated by Katryna Lalock. Chapter 1. Nate slapped a mosquito off his neck, a task that was quickly becoming useless. They were everywhere, in his hair, on his eyelashes. He was pretty sure he swallowed a small swarm during the walk down to the edge of the swamp. It was impossible to him that just down the bridge was the penultimate diving experience. Eagle's Nest Cave was the Mount Everest of cave diving. Not just because of the difficulty, but also because of the sheer number of deaths that took place within the systems. The fact that he was about to be one of the few to explore it sent a shiver of anticipation down his spine. It almost overrode the annoyance he felt at the constant swarm of bugs nipping at his exposed skin as they unloaded the trucks. There she was, the entry point. She was hideous. At least he was prepared. He'd watched countless videos of people making their way through the depths, including the walk to the entry point. Still, it caught him off guard to see the murky water that looked more like toxic sludge than the entrance to something nearly mythical. He sat down at one of the benches that led to the water, staring out over the expanse. Behind him, Greg flicked a sign, snorting. An informational sign about the sinkhole. How funny, he said. It was kind of funny. They'd driven nearly off the road to get to the deserted parking lot just feet from the edge of the water. The single informational sign about the aquifer was a striking contrast to the sign with the skull and crossbones everywhere, touting the risks of and deaths from the cave system, as if that would deter Nate and his crew. Visibility is good, Nate replied, nodding to the bulletin board. A crew dived just the day before and reported it was beautiful there. Greg grinned his reply, turning to look over his shoulder as the second trunk bumped into the parking lot. Wow, came a voice from the lot that made Nate's blood run cold. He stood suddenly, his gaze furious as it landed first on Owen, then on Greg. What the fuck is he doing here? Nate hissed. Greg held his hands up as if in surrender. Look, I know you said you only wanted experienced divers, but he's come a long way, Greg began. Nate ground his teeth to keep his angry retort in, instead taking measured breaths. Situations like this really tested his very new, very uncomfortable...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?